One thing we're going to talk about, the most controversial topic of this was masks. What is up, guys? Scams Wicks here, bringing you guys another video. So today is actually going to be our first ever Donuts and Do podcast.
Donuts and Do, baby.
We're doing it.
We're going to do it.
We do not do it, but we're doing it.
Are we doing the do or the donuts and the do and the do and the do and the do and the do? So today we're going to go ahead and start our first video for Donuts and Do. I think it's going to be super fire. We're going to touch on some sensitive subjects as well as talk about other things. I think it's going to be great. Guys, just stay tuned. You're going to love this video or hate it. Whatever you guys do, you know what you do. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
All right, what is up, guys? Cam's Kicks here, bringing you guys another video. And actually, we're very excited today to bring you our first ever podcast. So bear with us on the quality. I'm still using my GoPro. I think I'm going to use a microphone for the next one if we do decide to do one. And we're going to try to do everything uncut and keep it raw. This podcast is obviously about Hank the Tank because the Donuts and Do started with him. So what do you want to say?
I'm blessed, I guess, to have my own podcast, so to speak. So yeah. I'm pretty excited. You guys are going to enjoy these going forward. We're going to have a lot of fun with them. We're going to touch on subjects that you probably don't think we would ever touch on. We're going to discuss things from sneakers to, you know, street life with sneakers and this whole sneaker culture in general. And I think it's going to be super fantastic when we do this. And you guys are going to love it. We love you guys, and we want to do something extra with you guys. So we just want to make sure that we're getting out more content for you guys to view and just different things. Going forward, just keep in mind, if you have any ideas or anything you guys want us to talk about,
comment down below.
Comment down below, and then we can address it on the next go around. But for this one, I think we're going to touch on all points that we've already read in comments and DMs and stuff like that. So, where should we start first, guys? What do you think we should start at first?
Well, we'll just start at number one. We made a list with some bullet points and stuff that we're going to try to go off of. So yeah, you can just start with the first one.
All right, so the first one we're going to touch on is in regards to mystery boxes. So mystery boxes, obviously, depending on where you get them from or anything like that, they vary in profit. Now, we can say that we were selling mystery boxes, and at one point they were not going good, and we completely agree with you guys. So for that reason, we went ahead and stopped selling mystery boxes as much as we were. We were probably selling about 10 and 11 at a time. Me and Bo went ahead and talked about things and with Cam and decided that we're just not going to do them in mass quantities anymore. We went ahead and fixed a lot of the issues with a lot of the people. And going forward, we listened to what they said and what you guys said about our brick boxes and our scam boxes. So we went ahead and we went back to the drawing board and went ahead and just scrapped the whole idea and started from scratch.
Well, let's talk a little bit too about like why people don't think they're as good, because that's the thing, is like everyone's opinion is different. Like we might think it's a great box because we could get, say, 1,300 in store, but then they say it's only worth 1,000. Everyone values shoes different. That's one of the biggest issues with it. So yeah, you want to touch on that a little bit?
I'll talk about that. So essentially, a lot of people have been commenting. We've been putting some shoes like bricks or not easy movers. You know, it's a common one that we've been getting pretty often. At the end of the day, still is a mystery box, and we have gotten some people that have been telling other people that like you still don't really know what you're gonna get. Obviously, we were telling people that we would be able to get a 15 to 20% room for profit margin. And sometimes, at the time we were making those mystery boxes, it was a little bit difficult. At first, when I came on, we just didn't really even have like the inventory to be able to put in those boxes to help out with that value. That being said, from one sneakerhead, another sneakerhead, another sneakerhead to another, yeah, like we said, like there were some shoes in there that weren't really necessarily overpriced, but necessarily not a quick mover, and I agree. Some of no box pairs, some pairs that were already GRs but were already worn pretty good. But again, like Cam said, people's opinions vary. I think that if you wait and you don't try to sell immediately, and you give yourself time to look at the market, and you put your listings up on whatever social platforms that you have to be able to sell the pairs, or if you have the clientele, I think that a lot of people, I would say the majority of people would be able to make that 15-20% margin.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people DM us because our mystery boxes were very, very popular, and I think it's more of a recent thing in the last year or two that mystery boxes have been going crazy. Like everybody wants a mystery box from
touch
everywhere.
on this too. So going back to like a lot of people DMing us, like they'll say our boxes are terrible and stuff, and then we still get tons of DMs every single day.
Yeah, we get DMs. We probably get about 15 to 20 DMs a day. That's not a week. That's a day asking for mystery boxes, as well as a few emails. And everybody's just still asking for our mystery boxes. So, again, just to touch base on what they said, where one sneaker community can move it very well, another may not. So we just look at it from a broad sense of, is it going to move or is it not? Are we making it a fair market value? And we believe that majority of these shoes are at fair market value when you're trying to resell the shoe. We've seen you. We watch all the YouTube videos that you watch. We watch all of them, and we listen to them. And some people honestly don't know the sneaker game as well.
Let's talk about this too. So, what I was about to get to was a lot of people literally just buy the boxes to get views off of my name, off of our business.
And even worse, people will make their own boxes out of their own stuff that we didn't even send them, and they just put Cam in the title just to make money off of it, and it's just.
It's crazy.
It's very interesting. We have people making 5-6 videos for
one box.
One thing.
One box, yeah.
It's like,
and to be honest with you, like at that point, it's like people are just making videos about us to say whatever they want, and obviously they gotta know what the truth is and what is not the truth. And we're here to tell you that one, yes, our boxes may have not have been the greatest. Two, we are currently working on the boxes and making sure better boxes are being put out.
And better boxes have been going.
I can say that. If you watch some other YouTubers like NYO Plug, he's been getting better boxes. And we talked to, I actually personally talked to Sneaker Hustle, and I spoke to him personally. He gave me some of his input, so I went ahead and listened to what he had to say, and that's where we went from there. So again, we are definitely listening to you guys. When we put out a box, we do stuff specifically when we do these boxes, so we know that it is our box and not somebody else's box. Again, just one video we watched specifically had duct tape on the box. We would never put duct tape on a box.
Yeah.
So that is not something we do. That is very sloppy of us. But we do specific things to the box to make sure that it is our box. So people are actually, like I said, people are gonna make videos and IG accounts saying that we're giving out bad boxes and whatnot, but at the end of the day, this is the truth. We messed up. We went back to the drawing board and are fixing it. So going forward, we don't have these consistent issues that we've had in the past.
Yeah,
So,
and also too, Ronnie hasn't said much. Let's get some of his input on it. Like, where's your head at on this?
I mean, when it comes down to like the whole mystery box situation, a lot of people, what they already touched on about the definition of like bricks or what's a hype item or anything like that. How Bo was talking about how someone can move something well, another person can't, or the opposite. It's always a difference.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, the bricks.
Yeah.
So we have
the bricks, guys.
So this, quote unquote, to the world, this is a brick. It's the Jordan 12 Indigos.
Yep.
And then we have over there one of the most hyped items currently right now in the sneaker world, the Chicago Off-White highs. People like this, a lot of people will want hype shoes like this all the time because it has a high name, high popularity. The value itself is extremely high as well. Like this.
What's
one
the price
inside.
on that?
Ooh, I personally don't know.
It's at $3,500.
There you go. You see something like that,
And it's worn too.
and it's worn. Yeah, exactly. I think both of the pairs are worn.
No, that's brand new.
This one's brand new. Now for us, in reality, these type of shoes will move in a higher quantity than a pair like this.
A lot faster too.
Something like this you'll pay at a high dollar.
We've flipped, I'd say at least 30 of these, maybe even more than that, and we've been sitting on this for almost 3 weeks now. And it's just a tough shoe, just because it's such a high price point. But like this quote unquote brick, I would rather have 10 of these than one of this, just because I feel like in the store, at least for us in our market, this shoe is going to move way easier and faster for us. I don't know if you want to keep talking about it.
I mean,
well, I want to say something too, because at the end of the day, why does it matter what shoes we have? If they're selling good, we're making profit on them. Why do people have to comment that they're bricks? I mean, so what? We're making money on them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
what you consider a brick might not be a brick for somebody else. For some people, this might be a grail. So like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. commenting a brick.
Wear what you like. Everyone has their own opinion.
I wear what I like every day, and some people might think that are stupidest shoes in the world, but like, we're here to make money, and if this shoe makes us money, we're gonna buy 100 of these before we buy one of these. So.
Right. Anything else you want to add, Ronnie?
I would say that's kind of like majority of what's a lot of the conversation comes from was having scams,
bricks, scams, kits.
Because a lot of people will tend to have high items in mystery boxes. It's a mystery box. You don't know what you're gonna get. At the same time, you're not obligated to buy a mystery box. When you purchase it, you just, like I said, every reseller is different. Everybody has different tactics to the way they move. Personally, a lot of people will have this more on mystery boxes and this. I don't personally know why, because this can move way more faster than this, something like that. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody's to their own, like everybody else has been saying. But it is what it is. I just don't like the negativity. We always kind of want to spread out positivity as much as possible. This world has too much going on for it, so why keep going through it? So,
so we talked about a brick. So obviously, when we get this quote-unquote brick, we have to pay a fair price. So when we say lowballing,
do you want to touch on the lowballing now?
Yeah, because lowballing is kind of a harsh word, but it's not. We obviously have a lot of overhead we have to take care of. How much in expenses did you have?
That's what I was gonna say. So just this year alone, guys, I spent almost $100,000 just on expenses. That has nothing to do with inventory, nothing to do with anything like that. Just paying employees, rent, all these expenses, traveling, because we're traveling like almost every weekend now. That's where we're gonna eventually be at. So it's just a lot of unseen stuff that people really don't see.
Yeah,
so.
And if anybody can run a store better than I or us and feel that they can do it, please DM us and tell us what we're doing wrong, and we will see if that actually makes sense or not. But a lot of the comments that say we're lowballing, literally people make, again, Instagrams and profiles just to say that we're lowballing and kind of bandwagon on what some other people are actually saying, but they have no idea how this actually runs.
Well, I mean,
to a certain
people are
extent.
saying it just to say it at this point. And one thing I do want to keep touching on is the lowballing part, because Cam and I do most of the negotiations now. I mean, Cam does a lot on camera. I do a little bit more when we're going out to places and doing big bulk deals. But one thing that we have to do, we always have to look at the market, and we also have to know what we can sell it in store for. And if that margin doesn't make sense for us, then we're just not going to buy it. And people that have stores and people that buy used shoes, you can look at many YouTubers that buy shoes and sell shoes that
we actually pay a lot more fair than people like. One thing too, so we've traveled to tons of stores now. Nothing against any of them. All for the most part great guys, great to deal with. But we haven't found a single store that has had better prices overall than ours. And we're not bragging or anything. We're just saying we buy low to sell low. It's not lowballing. We're just trying to buy for as low as possible to sell for as low as possible. And keep in mind the expenses and everything that has to be paid. So. And
people have talked about this so many times on YouTube and stuff. Like StockX, I feel like is a necessary evil because it's a lot of we use it a lot, in every kind of sneaker market to price shoes. It's really hard to price shoes without StockX, honestly. And at the end of the day, when you look at the market and you're able to sell it online to a company like StockX that takes huge cuts of profit from everybody, and we offer either what they're paying or a little bit higher than what they're paying, right on the spot, cash on the spot. I wouldn't ask for it. Like Cam, Henry was a customer, I was a customer, Ronnie was also a customer before we even started working here. The reason, Henry will tell you, the only reason why Henry kept coming here is because he kept getting great offers on the shoes he was bringing in. And he wasn't bringing in
great stuff. Every day at one point.
Henry was bringing in stuff. I used to watch the videos when Henry would come in. I was like, this guy brings in total outlet brick shoes. But you know what? Cam would always offer like really fair on them, and he can. And kudos to you. At 19 years old, I feel like he offers better than a lot of people who've been in the game for a really long time. And
well, that's what I want to talk about too. So he's been in the game since like 06, 07, and I've only been in it for like 3 years, like reselling. I've been in the shoes for probably around 5 years, but a lot of my knowledge now is just based on past sales because I've seen so many of the same shoes. So a lot of people say, like I've heard that we wouldn't be able to survive if StockX was shut down for a few days. I think we easily could because a lot of shoes I don't even have to look up anymore. Definitely the same with him, and Bo is starting to learn now.
To be honest with you, a lot of the shoes that I'll go and pick out, I don't even look at StockX. I just know the price.
It's like we
I
have a
memorize
database in our mind.
Yeah.
So when I go and find a shoe, I'll go grab this off. I automatically know.
Like we're paying 160
Yeah.
for that, put it at 200, 220.
So I already know that. So that saves me time, saves everybody time. Some of the older shoes that they may not be as aware of, I already know the prices. I've dealt with them in the past.
Yeah.
In some of the upcoming videos, you'll see that. But it's StockX at the end of the day is just, again, what Bo said, a necessary evil. But at the same time, we don't technically need StockX to run a business.
It definitely helps us.
It helps us, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's kind of all we really want to talk about the lowballing part, because you know, I think a lot of people also think that Cam offers really low compared to, like, let's say myself, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I would say 99.9% of the time I offer exactly what Cam is gonna offer, and I tell people that all the time. If I offer something, Cam has my back and I have his. You know, obviously he owns the business, so it goes through him. Everything goes through him. But at the end of the day, Cam has got this confidence in all of us, you know, to be able to do our jobs the right way. And
if I wouldn't, just say none of them would have a job.
Exactly. Exactly. So if Cam feels comfortable enough to tell me that I can offer on shoes, and you know, I know what I'm doing, you know, if I offer you something, sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower than what Cam's gonna do. But for the most part, I would say Cam
no one's ever gonna offer literally the exact
because
same price.
Cam and I offer about the same thing because we look at the same thing. So just letting you guys know ahead of time, you know, if you're working in the future with myself or with Cam, you're gonna get the same price from both of us.
Yeah, because I don't like a few people have said, like, Bo will give them an offer and then they come to me like, Bo said this, can you do any more? No, if he says the price, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the same price overall. So.
But I mean, we have great customers. Like, that's the thing. Like we get a lot of hate online, but we get good customers. We got great stores. We got great stores. We got people that work with us and actually think that we're, you know, really good people, because I think if you get the opportunity,
if you actually get to know us, it's a whole lot different than just seeing us through a screen. Like a lot of people don't understand stuff like that as well.
Yes,
so.
sir.
And just one other thing is that at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't like our quote-unquote lowball price, they don't have to accept it. We're not trying to take advantage of anybody. We're not trying to do any of that. We're very fair. We explain to them. You may not see that on camera, but you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens off the camera where we're trying to explain to them how it can go and what it can do. And there are a lot of hard movers. You guys sit there and say, oh, that's not a hard mover. For us, it might be, because this is what our market is. We're a standalone store. We're not in the mall. We're in the middle, you know, of a city that, you know, that isn't really prosperous.
You're putting it lightly.
Yeah.
What a lot of other people don't see is like the condition of shoes too. Like if we're offering $20 on a pair of shoes, it's not lowballing. Like it's ridiculously beat. We're only gonna put it at 40, 50 bucks.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people like.
Some people like buying those so they can restore them or do projects with them so they can save themselves money on materials.
Yeah, like when I just saw that people were commenting on, I offered $20 on a pair of used Cool Gray 4s, no box. It was insanely beat. It has like cracking on it, really bad creasing, staining on the uppers. So I mean, we're not going to pay top dollar for that because we're going to sell it way under market.
And most of the time, sometimes we just tell the customer straight up. I mean, sometimes you can get on video, but most of the time, Cam and I will just be like, honestly, man, this is probably what we're going to put it at. So like, we'll be honest with you about where we're going to put it at. We're not trying to take money from you guys. We're not trying to make like steal. We're really not. We're literally just trying to, you know, give you the opportunity to get money back on it, and then for us to possibly move it.
Yeah. That's what we don't get to. Like people call it a scam because we're offering a low number on a pair of shoes. Like they accept it. We don't force anyone to come in here. Obviously, we don't force anyone to take our offers. At the end of the day, if they say no, they can just walk right out the door.
Yeah.
Someone else
exactly.
will
And I can probably say out of everybody here, I've probably been to the most stores in this immediate area where we're at, New York, PA, as well as Maryland. Like I've traveled everywhere.
Baltimore born and raised, so he knows all around there.
And I can honestly say that I've been, some of the prices that he offers, some of these other stores have offered. Like when I was coming as a client, I literally was going ahead to other stores first before I came here, and like literally at the point I was just tired of going to those stores. So I just was coming here because at least I know I can get a little bit more money than what some of these other stores were offering. Yeah. The problem with that is you guys don't see that where these other stores are.
A lot of things, a lot of stores too, they don't even offer cash on spot anymore. It's just consignment. So a lot of people have come to us and said we're better because we'll give them cash right there.
And that's the thing. If every store had a channel and showed everyday interactions with customers, then we would probably be
perception would be a little bit different.
Be a little bit better because. I mean, we were in a store at one point, I think this last weekend, And a customer came in while we were doing a deal on the side, and they offered on a shoe that goes for like $850, and they offered around, I think it was like $680, and I think payout was like $720. And I don't even think we would offer maybe at or even above payout for a shoe like that. Like it's just an example of like, I looked at Cam and I said, wow, like we would offer at least $40-50 more than that.
Right.
And that's just an example, guys. And please keep supporting us. Please come into the shop. We would love to meet everybody because we honestly, like Henry said, perception is everything. We really are laid back, cool people that we really just want to meet you guys and do some business with you guys, hopefully.
So Cam, I know there were some personal things about yourself that you wanted to touch on. What would be one of those things you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, one thing too, like a recent video just came out, like no one was actually commenting about it too much until after this video. So one thing that everyone's saying now is about my teeth gap. Yes, I have a gap between my teeth. It's genetics. I've had it like my whole life. Nothing I can do about it. I don't understand why people comment about someone's physical appearance who they don't even know.
I mean, don't feel bad. I get called fat all the time, which honestly,
Yeah.
I don't really care. I've been fat all my life. I'll die fat. I eat good. I don't care. So
And
you
yeah,
actually
he
say
doesn't
whatever
eat
you
donuts
want.
and do every day.
I
guys.
actually
He
don't.
doesn't
I
eat
literally
donuts.
ate donuts and do maybe one time, and that was the time that Bo actually commented it and said that. But honestly, we're going to take it and run with it at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't care about being fat. I don't care about Cam, having a gap in his teeth. Like, nobody cares. So for even to mention that, like, you guys are literally just nitpicking at everything. Like, they nitpicked about the blue bags. They nitpicked about his teeth. They nitpicked about him being fat. They nitpicked about
That's the
Ronnie's
thing, too,
sexual preference.
Oh, let's talk about
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
He has a girlfriend and a daughter. A lot of people call him whatever. So
Yes, what you call it. I do have a daughter. Her name is Isabella. She is 1 year old and like 3 months some change. I have a significant other. Her name is Alicia. Shout out right there. But other than that, like a lot of people, I don't understand why people will be concerned about my own sexuality or state that I'm attracted to the same sex or anything like that. Overall, I'm living. We all each other are living each other's lives. Like we're kind of just vibing. I don't understand why the gap defense that him being fat. Like there's nothing about that. He's big boned. He's up there. We're up there. We're all good. There's no sense of it. Yeah.
So, also just one other thing I've noticed in comments too, and it really disturbs me, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've read comments that Cam is racist. And I want to state this fact right now that one, he is far from that.
Yeah.
My wife is African American. I love her to death. I'm gonna die being married to her. I have 2 kids of mixed race. They are both mixed with black and white. So if I felt that Cam was racist, I would never ever put myself in a situation where I would feel that I felt that he was racist.
yeah, 'cause I respect everyone. I see everyone the same.
He's actually hired her a couple times to help us out with things at events. Yeah. So for people to even say he's remotely racist, that's wrong. He's not. I can't even imagine like why people would say that. So
I think honestly, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but a lot of people in the comments with saying that Cam is racist is connected to one thing that he doesn't wear in videos or anything like that, which a lot of people feel some type of way about.
One thing we're going to talk about, the most controversial topic of this was masks.
yeah.
So we've been.
I think you guys have been waiting for the address of the masks.
Yeah.
So this is where we're going to address the masks. You guys can have your personal opinions on it at the end of the day, and you're entitled to your personal opinion. So feel free to be entitled. We're not taking anybody's entitlement away on their opinions, but we want you to understand some things real quick.
Nice.
So I think Cam is going to go ahead and address, and then we'll just follow up with it. Cam, would you like to address it?
Yeah. Let me see. So. All right. So I wrote something down, so I'd have a little thing to go off of. So I'll try to read most of it. So. I said, I personally do not involve myself in politics and do not typically like discussing them. If you don't agree with my stance on wearing or not wearing a mask, that's okay. I don't force anyone to wear a mask when they come in the store. My staff wears masks when guests are in the store, and I constantly sanitize the store every week and my hands after every customer interaction. So people don't see that off camera. We do have a lot of hand sanitizer back there. We just don't put it right out.
All.
Yeah.
I honestly think he drinks hand sanitizer, so
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm sorry if I offend anyone by not wearing a mask, but I just don't agree. I have had a major personal issue with anxiety. For many years that I've dealt with, I feel very claustrophobic when wearing a mask. Like I can't breathe, like that's just how I feel. And since I have such bad anxiety, like I don't drink any caffeine, so like people bring donuts and Dew, he's gonna be drinking the Dew. I just stick with water most of the time. Or an Arnold Palmer that might have a little caffeine in it, but I don't have coffee or anything like that. What else did I say? So I actually do wear a mask when going out of respect for most places. When we're filming or taking pictures, I always take it off. My voice is obviously muffled when filming, so it wouldn't be good with that. And then I just don't personally like the image either, so I just keep it off in pictures and in videos. So
yeah, and we actually all had to talk about that, and we obviously respect each other. Obviously, I exercise my right not to vote currently, so
Yeah,
and
same
I'm going to
with me. I
continue
don't know if I
to do
mentioned
that. We are not Trump supporters or whatever thing that you think you are. We just exercise.
I don't
right.
have any opinion in politics.
Yeah,
I really don't vote.
I stay away from politics because you can lose friends very quickly in politics and religion. So we don't talk about either one of those. We just we stated our piece with that, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I personally do what I got to do to make sure that we do our safe. Believe it or not, that I make sure that we take the necessary precautions. We talk about it every day. What you don't see is that we're taking each other's temperatures every day. We are sanitizing constantly. I think Ronnie bought about 50 containers of like Clorox wipes. So Ronnie ODs on all the cleaning supplies. But it's to protect you guys. So don't feel like you're not being protected. If anybody has any type of feverish or symptoms, we make sure that we do not, make sure you come into the store, obviously, to, as far as the employees, make sure that they're good and safe. You know, we don't want to be a quote-unquote super spreader, as some people like to say, but we are taking the necessary precautions, and that's something you guys do not see. So, in conclusion, like, hopefully these guys can give a better understanding to what we're trying to do and say. Obviously, we would love the comments down below. I'm sure we're still going to get hate comments, and that's okay.
Honestly, we don't care. We're just going to keep it running.
Care. Yeah.
We're still such an early business. We're always growing, room for improvement. But
yeah. And honestly, we do take in what you guys say in some situations. I can't talk. But at the end of the day, we have to run a business. We're doing the best we can with running a business. I guarantee you, majority of these comments, they do not run a business.
They comment like they know everything, but they can never do anything like the situation.
It is very hard to pull off some of the things that we pull off.
Yeah.
But we try to make it happen for you guys because we love meeting you guys. We love going to the shops, and we love doing our pop-ups, and we love doing all that because we genuinely love you guys, and we just want to make sure that you guys understand from our point of view that we're trying to keep it safe and keep just having fun with you guys. I think everywhere that we've ever been, we've had so much fun. Like, we just meet people and then we have a connection for life.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Bo, any final thoughts?
No, I think this was a necessary video that we needed to do for you guys and for us. I think we needed to just get it out there and clear the air. We don't want to necessarily start fresh. I think we honestly just wanted to let you guys know where we're at, how we feel about some things that have been going on. But I did just want to say thank you for everyone tuning in, subscribing to Cam. And I say it all the time, but he is very appreciative of every single one of you that have clicked subscribe on his channel and have followed us on Instagram, camscakes.sc, and have ordered from us on our website, camscakes.com. This is great. And then we, you guys see the support. Like, when you say Scams Bricks, we make a t-shirt, and then we make...
That's a funny thing, too. We made a profit off it if you guys are going to hit on us, like, at the end of the day. We don't force anyone to subscribe to us. We don't force anyone to watch us. We don't force you to come in the store. We want you to. Don't do anything.
We want you to.
We want you to do all the above, but you don't have to. We don't care if everyone does it. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
But we want you to.
But we want you to.
Yeah.
And Ronnie, final thoughts?
Always. Keep it with the good vibes, okay?
Thank you guys for tuning in to our first Donut to Do. We'll be doing more.
Let us know what you think of this.
Hopefully some more fun topics, because we don't want to do this kind of video.
And we're not going to be addressing any more of this. This is like a one-time type of thing. We just thought like we really had to go over.
And guys, we have so many big things coming soon. It's going to be insane. 2021 is going to blow up. We're going to do great. So thank you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.